Hello everybody. Hi Rainer. Hope you're having a wonderful Friday. We're here, we're doing things and stuff. And by things and stuff, I mean art mainly? Art mainly, I believe. Num 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 num. I'll make sure I have all my things open to the right stuff. Right stuff. Oh, wait, we're talking to Ghosty today, and we're gonna make stickers. I think I might start with making some stickers actually today. I have some sticker ideas, and I don't know where I put them, but we'll find them. Thank you for the head pat. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Yum. Stickers hype? Yeah. Stickers. My expectation. But I am short. My stretches are about to ruin. It'd be funny if we could do like a skeleton for this one. I feel like these would be good shirts. These will be good shorts. But we will try to make them stickers. Nom 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 nom. Let's see. Let's make a new thing. Let's do a 2K thing. I think my stickers would be more words. Ghosty made one and there's more art. Expectations. And then I want this one to be in the Helvetis font. Okay. Gonna get expectations. Or high. I don't know if I like that, but And I am short. Oop, short. I feel like I'm forgetting to do something today, but I think I'm okay. Let's look up word stickers. Word stickers. I kind of like how these are. Oh wait, we could do bumper stickers. Bumper stickers. Yeah, it could be like bumper sticker sized. I feel like that would be pretty good. Expectations. So we have to make this like a rectangular sticker then? Beep. It's in the back, lock it. If any of you have 4th of July plans, I didn't know if I wanted to be like happy 4th of July stream. I'm also kind of like, do I want to shed light on the Americas? But I don't really know. I'm just here today. Is anybody else doing like a 4th of July stream right now? Let's refresh this. Let's refresh. And he feels it only halfway. Hi, Ghosty. Hi. I was right about to start making a sticker, actually.
The water's boiling. Hello!
Hello! Will Larkin Clipstream. It's a me. It's a you. Okay. I'm making like I think like a bumper sticker is my plan. I have a funny quote that I've always wanted to make a sticker, but I'm working on one. Pog, exciting. I'm like thinking of like a bumper sticker type, like these. I think this would be kind of good. I like this top half. I think I can make it smaller, maybe. Hi. And then I don't know how I want to like organize the words though. Short. Like that. Maybe I do instead. Expectations. Like right here. Maybe I could do it like this. R. And then the word high can be tall. Would it be funnier, you think, to do expectations are high and I am short, or expectations are tall and I am short? Because then it's kind of like height thing. I don't really know. Also, the word high looks weird to me now. Are you sure high is better? Okay. Thank you. Because it's like a high shelf. Oh, good point. Good point. I am short. Could go like in the center, maybe. Let me hide this original group. I don't want it italicized. Expectations are high. Then we italicize it. I am short. It kind of looks like I keep seeing the word shart. I know that's like one letter. I don't know. Maybe we gotta give it like a quirky font. We got some quirky fonts in here, I'm sure. I think that's just you looking at the. Oh, that's valid. I haven't even looked at the word for that long. There is no shart. Okay. Let me put this a little bit lower. I don't know what to put in like the middle. Something bubbly? Okay. I think I have some bubbly fonts in here. Like your bubbly font. You're a bubbly font. You're a bubbly font. This one, Modak could be good. I think I have a few other bubbly fonts as well. Superfats? Superfats could be fine. It's a bit retro. What else I got? It's kind of cute. Let's look at bubble fonts. Look at the font of bubble fonts. Bubble letters. Ooh. Let's just look at the word expectations. That's a big one. I don't like how weird it is. This one. Is it the cartoon one? Yes, it is. Oh, Toasty Milk is cute. Toasty Milk is cute. Yeah, I like Toasty Milk. I'll be alright. That's a cute name as well. Toasty Milk is a very cute name. That's so cute. I know. I like it. Okay. So, let me take these guys. I'll make it Toasty Milk. Where is the Toasty Milk? Toasty Milk. Okay. And then I just gotta hi. And I am, yeah, all capitals. And I am short. Okay, cool. I am short. I want this to be like centered. That's not centered. Are you centered? Are you centered, Mr. Rectangle? You are now. Alright, now what color should this be? I kind of want to do like a ooh. I have an idea. I'm gonna do like a sunny day. Like a sunny day. Okay. Seriously, I like these colors. My very best. Okay, so this one, this color. Actually, I want it to be a bit lighter. Let's take this. Oh, yeah. Okay, and then I want to make grass. Let's do like one grass piece, and then we're gonna invert it, and then we're going to. I think fattening him is a better idea. Oops, I forgot to close the curve. Close curve. Turn to. Oh, I should pick from here. Beep. Yeah. And then I want this to get clipped into here. If that's more than I am, 'cause I'm doing the same to you. And then this is like a clump. You can kind of just. And I would rotate this guy just a little bit more. Yeah. Yeah. So this is like clump 1, I would say. Grass 1. Ooh. I think I want each of them to have a gradient too. Yes. I like it. modify this one just a bit so it looks like it's a little bit back. And this one as well, so it looks like it's further back. I mean, that's kind of cute. I think. I don't know. We're just fucking around and finding out, I guess. Really? Do this a little bit lower. Gradient, yeah, gradient. That's pretty good. And then
Dan 33.
Hi, Buffy! Thank you so much for subbing at tier 1 for 33 months! Holy cow! Woo! How are you doing, buddy? Are you having a good day? Am I considered a shareholder yet? If you want. I would say you're pretty invested. We're making stickers. I'm cold because I don't have a jacket, so I've just put the blanket on my arms. No, hoodie. I'll ask Pixels for it. No, I'll get a hoodie. Hold on, I'm gonna get a hoodie really quick. I need a hoodie. Hoodie has been acquired. But I think I need to put it through the wash. But I'll put it in the wash later. It's like much cooler today than it was yesterday. My body's not prepared. My body's not prepared. I don't know. My hoodie is all tangled. What are you? Ow, I just bit my finger. I had to bite the... Have you guys ever, like, try to put on a hoodie, but the sleeve's inside out, so you try to bite the sleeve and then pull it out, but I just bit my finger. Yeah. Okay. Scooting into my desk. I think I want this bumper sticker to be, like, rounded, though. Hold on. Oh, there's the one on TikTok that I like. Bumper sticker TikTok. Cute. I'm not gonna lie, you're gonna love what I'm already loving it. I'm already loving it. Yeah, it's by this person. I like theirs a lot. Where are they? Yeah, I like these kind of stickers. So I'll probably make these kind of stickers. But I know you, Ghosty, you're gonna make more like the art ones. But I like the text ones a lot. Because I think I'm better at that. But yours are, oh my god, I can't wait till you guys see Ghosties. I should make the fridge. Hold on, let me create a thread. Cause I really love Ghosties, and I'll never be able to make them better. But you know, that's not the point. It's not the point. But Hi, Vexed. Happy 4th of July, Vexed. I don't know what thing I... Oh, I forgot to upload my new emojis. My blip. maincoow blip. The other one should be already maincoow numbers. Yep. God, day off! I'm so glad! You deserve it after yesterday. Okay, the sticker club. And then create thread is where you can share your sticker ideas. And then I can pin this. Pin message, pin it. Yeah. And then in edit thread. And then in the board, I need to, not the board, the vibe zone. I need to pin the, did I already pin it? Oh, I did. Cool. Okay. 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 I really like theirs. Theirs, I think, are like rounded. Hold on. Stickers, car accessories. That's what I'm thinking of. Yeah, theirs are like rounded. Because I really like these. Like, oh my god, I need some space. Look at this. This is so cute. Oh my god. I love the colors. Okay, so let's round these corners too then. Yeah. Yeah. Oh my god. Those are such a, yeah, I know. Sorry, I'm not from here. Probably lost. I want to leave. Like, oh my god. Loopy Ray is like so cool. Like, I love their stuff. Their stuff is just so relatable. Waff! Hi, Waff! Hi! Hi! I'm making stickers. Because Ghosty has inspired me to finally make stickers. Ghosty's about to make Pixels a very happy person because Pixels has been wanting me to make these stickers for months. For months. And I have just been, yeah. Yeah, I'll do that. It is time. It is time. Let's see. I like that. I think I should make a few more of these. I think. Oh, hold on. Oh, I forgot to close it again. And make this. And then make it bigger. And I just kind of want more variation, I think, in some of these. But we gotta adjust. Oh, it's a weird shape. Something you say. And this guy can get rotated. Oh, he's also not thick enough. I want to be as thick as the other ones. Maybe not that thick. There we go. Okay, and then I'm just gonna grab like a random bundle of them, I think. If I can. I'm just gonna move them. Oh, not you. You go here. You can go here. It's like the first ever sticker that I've made. I've made like a few chibis before, obviously, but it's like I've never made a sticker before, and I feel like there's like more to consider when you make a sticker. I think I don't actually know. So this is very much gonna be trial and error for me, as I don't know what I'm doing. I want this one to flip, I think. And then I really like this tuft. This is like a really good tuft right here. I want this tuft to also go like over here if I can. I'd expected to say, I'd expected to say, and I am too. That would be that's a different one. That'll be the next one. We'll make two of them. We'll make two variants, Buffy. Ooh, that's a good idea. Thank you, Buffy. We'll make two. And someday, someday I'll set up the Patreon, and then people can get these stickers for free. Free with subscription. We say that. It's pretty good. It's like a little too close to one another, I feel like. I want to have different kind of grass on it. Yes, it will. Yes, it will. You got that indeed correct. Free with the thing you pay for. Yeah. Yeah. I think this one needs to be darker. Yeah. I struck gold. What'd you do? What happened? What's happening? Hi, Condemned. What are you doing? What's happening? What's happening? What'd you strike gold with? Yes. Nice. Good job. I'm deciding if I want to do... Would it be cute to do like an outline on this? Normal... Maybe like a lighter color? Maybe darker. Damn! Holy shit! That's a lot of ice cream! Oh my god, what the fuck? Well, be sure to pace yourself. Don't hurt yourself, okay? I don't want you to hurt your tummy. That's awesome. That's a crazy price. Where? Yeah, tell Boffy where. Words. What color should the words be? I don't know what color the word should be. I feel like a yellow would be cute, but... As a fellow Brit, give me your supply, I guess. Indeed. Cannot... Okay, wait. I want to do like a sunflower yellow, but with like an outline, I think. Yeah, that's a lot more legible. I like that they're doing like yellow and then like a different color, you know? Like I feel like maybe I should do a green. Yeah, darker green. I don't like this yellow. I like the yellow. I would need like a more sunflower yellow. Lighter. Maybe I should make the outline white. Oh, black? No. Let's see. I like that they do like a solid drop shadow as well. I just feel like green might be too simple. The blue's not bad. Red. Yellow's not bad. Try black. I feel like black's just too contrasted. But I could make it like black, but like, or hold on. Black, but like not as dark of a black. That's not terrible. What I'm living in. I also want to try the grass having a different outline color. What if I gave it like a blue? What if it's a blue similar to this blue, just darker? Oh! Just darker. Saturated. Nah. I think the black or the blue was fine. And then... Oh, I want to do the drop shadow, that's right. Let's do... Oh, let's try... Go blue and then do outer shadow as black. There you go. 100%. And then intensity doesn't matter. I don't want to blur it. Oh wait, what if I did it as green though? Check the fridge. I'm looking. God damn! That's a lot of ice cream. Ooh, that looks like a really good flavor. Ooh, fuck. Oh, it's got. Oh my god. Why? Please, I haven't ate yet today. I could eat a gallon of that. No. Please. Mercy. Mercy. Ooh. Ooh, white kind of pops. Chocolate ice cream with sea salt chunk. Oh, please, I haven't ate food yet today. Please. I started my day late. Please have mercy. I haven't eaten yet. High but short. Oh, my bones. I'm gonna make a dandelion. How would I make a dandelion? I would go like this. What? Ben, Jerry, and Tony's at the same time. I have an ethical orgasm. Yes. Let's do that. Boots with the fur, Oh, cover looking at her. Tony's it so far. I like Tony's as well. Expand to stroke. I've only had Tony's chocolate a few times, but I do like it. Also, Elaine, I saw a lot of they did. They liked and they commented on Twitter. And then they also liked it. Ooh, sorry. Stop. They also commented on TikTok. Yeah, which is nice. I'm glad they like it. I'm glad that they like it. It's getting good traction on Twitter, to be honest. Next thing you know, she's trying to go low dandelion. So thank you for the suggestion, Buffy. If you ever have more, feel free to let me know. Should I do like dandelions like this, or should I do dandelions? I don't know. I'm gonna try to do the yellow one. I'm glad my suggestion. It did. Thank you. I much appreciate it. Sorry, I'm like trying to figure out how I'm doing this. I think yellow supports the theme better. I was gonna make like yellow dandelions. That's why I'm thinking yellow. But I don't know. I'm gonna try both. Oh, I could do both. Hold on. I can switch them too. She hit off, now she hit off, now next thing you know. But the fluffy one kind of has wishes, so it might fit the hopes. Oh, okay. So then I'll switch them. I shall switch them then. 1 second. I shall switch the dandelion to be white. And then this guy be yellow. So I wasn't attached to either, to be honest. But you guys, I need you to be white. Watching you art is so cool, not gonna lie. I'm glad. I'm glad you think so. I like artin'. To be honest, I'm very excited to do... I don't like this. Hold on. Let me do this. It's so different to most. I mean, yeah, I think it's just like shapes in mine are just more apparent because everybody just, at the end of the day, art is just shapes. Art is just shape. I'm glad. I want to do like 2 sets. Yeah. But I'm gonna do a gradient, I think. Oh wait, no, I have to layer, expand to stroke. And then I can do the gradient. But I want to reverse it, I think. And then I want to make the top half. Ooh. Ooh. I like that, but I'd also like the white to go down. Okay. I don't know if I can just copy and paste it, so I'm just gonna redo this. Go. I can flip them. Too much. Okay, I don't know if this will look good, but we're gonna try it anyway. Okay, maybe no noise. Maybe the noise is too much. So I kind of want to do like a transparency thing. Dandelion. I want to make it look like a puffball. To make it look like a puffball. I think I'd have to do it in third. Maybe I could flip it actually. I have 2. Maybe this would work. My brain sort of forgot what I was doing, I'm not gonna lie. Two, 3, 4. Just even this out a bit. And then it should be this guy, this guy, then this guy, this guy. This guy's next. I should just click him. It'd be faster than me trying to guess. You next. Right? Wait. Yeah, this way. And this way. And this way, I think. Yeah. I don't know if I like that shape. I don't think I like that shape out too much. Yippee! Okie dokie, thank you. Pixels made us burritos. Mmm. Mmm. Okay. Nom nom nom. Mm-hmm. Burrito, yeah. I helped Pixels trim up their hair today, so they made me burrito. It's very yum. I don't know if I like this. Hmm. Nom nom. I'm also trying to savor the burrito instead of just inhaling it, because I so could just inhale this thing. Let's see, maybe like this. No. Where? Where are you? No, I just want... It's very good. It's very yum. Oh. I think I want this to go back to white. And then I think I do want the flower to be yellow. No. Well, this is in the front and the back. In the back. I should make a caterpillar. I have another idea. Time to cry. I apologize a million times. It matches so good, though. I don't know where to put them. That actually matches quite well. Slug, yeah. I feel like I should make the word high and short like different colors. Never meant to make a daughter cry. You know what? Put the flower over here. And then I think we'll put a gradient in the background. There we go. I'm gonna put that there, and then maybe want to do like a leaf or something here so the slug can sit on it. Yeah. Are you making fun of my sticker? Are you making fun of my sticker? I love this one. Jackson. In the grass? Okay. This here. And then find what layer this is on. There we go. My slug is in the grass. I want to make a cloud near. No, get out of the grass. Get out of the grass. Except I'm having this be a different color. That burrito fucked me up. I know, I just inhaled the second one. Was the first one and the second one different though? Because the first one tastes like it had sauce and the second one didn't have. Either way, it was really good. I don't really care, but just curious. The radio. I want to make the color. I think I want this to be a light blue, actually. My phone is playing a TikTok. What the fuck? That's scary. I think one had more sauce because okay, that makes sense. Both were the same overall, though. Valid. You were really good, though. Thank you. Yeah. And now there's something going on here, and then I want to put the flower here. And so we're gonna make a little dandelion. And I'm gonna look at how Canva would do it. Because their typical style is the way I like it the best, so. I'm gonna drink it. Dandelion. I want something simple. I don't want to be like overly detailed. Okay, I'll take from this one and then. Okay, so they do like an okay. So I will do like an overall shape. Okay, maybe not like that. Maybe I should start with like a circle. To be like this. And then make like the. I think I finished the baby. I want to see. Show me. I want to see. I don't know how to draw a flower. Maybe I should. Oh, wait. No. No, that won't work. I don't know how to do a sunflower. Or not sunflower, dandelion. Where should I send it? You can send wherever makes you most comfortable. If you just want to send it to my DMs, that's fine. If you want to put it in the sticker club, that is also fine. It is whatever you are most comfortable with. I think I did it. I think I did it. Look at my eye. Right. Yeah, there we go. I'll make it yellow. I can delete this guy. And then I will bring him down here. Yes. Yes. And then we do like they do like a it would be really cool if I could see what I was doing. There we go. Let me get my drawing tablet. No! I bought something off my desk. I buy something and made my headset holder, but that doesn't really matter because my headset holder is currently my head. Hi, Rhino! Hi, Rhino! What's up, dude? Happy 4th of July, dog! You know what? We're gonna be happy firework day. I just calculated meal because I didn't want to do it, but I want to celebrate something. Not America, though. So we're gonna, so happy firework day. Happy firework day. Actually, what is there like a national holiday or something today? National holiday, not fun. Yeah, but isn't it like National Donut Day? National holiday like donut day. Happy day off and girl, happy grill day. Fun holidays. Yeah, see, there's one of every day. Okay, where's July? Where's July? What is July 4th? Sidewalk egg frying day. Oh. That's so lame. Ah. Oh, wait, the 8th is video game day though. That's interesting. Let me blow my nose. Happy sidewalk egg frying day. Yeah, okay, sure. Sure, we'll do that. Every day is a video game day. That's how I feel. Oh, where's your last dance? I gotta blow my nose real quick. Hold on. Alright. It's happy grill and swim day. Alright, happy Happy Grill. No, we're doing Happy Grill and Egg Frying Day. Happy Grill and Egg Frying Day. There. Best of both worlds, okay? There. There. Teddy Bear Picnic Day? Oh my god. I feel like I'm missing out. I didn't know about these holidays. Oh, my tablet's not even plugged in. Where's the cord to my tablet? That's to my mouse. What the fuck is the one that goes to my tablet? My cat eat it off my desk or something? Oh no, it's right here. I say, this is... Yep, okay, cool. It's up and touch the sky. Ooh, I'm so excited. Oh my god, Ghosty! I love it! Oh my god! Can I make this my profile picture? Oh, Ghosty! Oh my god, can I show it? Can I show it? I'm about to make myself lightheaded from gasping so much. Hold on, I need air. Okay, we're good. Can I show it? Yeah. Look at this. Ghosty made me this. Ghosty made me this. Oh. So cute. Hold on, wait. My model's like, so cute. I'm so fluffy. I don't know if I've ever loved anything more in my entire life. I need it in real life. Oh, it's so precious. Ghosty, can I have a version? Oh, I'm gonna put this in 2 places. Can I have a version of this without the background and you put your logo like somewhere in here so I can put it on a water bottle? Oh, it's so cute. Okay, I gotta go back. I gotta make it my profile picture. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. You don't understand. Ghosty. I'm like shitting my pants. You have no idea. You don't understand the power that you hold. This right here, the power that you hold, the amount of people that would want this, you have no fucking idea. The power that you hold is, oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god, hold on. I gotta change it. I gotta change it on everything. Little baby. Pretty little baby. Alright, give me this. Post a set like that on TikTok and it's... Oh, that's what I'm saying! If TikTok saw this, if TikTok saw this, bro, they would... If the VTuber community sees this, which they will, because I'm about to make it a thing. I don't know if your Twitter profile is this, but let me know your Twitter too, so that way I can... I did this wrong. I did this wrong. Oh. Fuck. Oh no, I fucked it up. Tell. Whoops. At me with those VTuber. Bro, I'm saying you don't understand how many people would love this art. Like, on God. Oh my god, I know so many people that would love to have art like this. Like, it's so cute and so fluffy. Ah! I'm gonna make this, edit server profile. Oh, streamer mode. Turn it off. Change avatar. Per server profile. Cool. Oh my god. Oh my god, I love the way you drew the bow. Oh, and it goes so well with the cow hoodie. Ah! Hi, Moon Decor. I'm doing well. I just go off vibes, so that's the hard part. No, that's the best, though. I love artists that, like... That's the thing, though, because, like... So for Tell, one of my favorite artists that did this piece... Also, Moon Decor, I hope you're having a great day. I gave them a vibe. I, like, literally, I was like, here's references. Where is it? Get Ghosty on VGen. That's what I'm saying. I have codes, I think. Because I'm verified on it. Where is it? I gave them 2 pictures. I sent them this as a reference, and then I sent them my thing. I think I have a Twitter, but I literally don't use it. It doesn't matter. Let me fangirl over you, okay? I sent them those 2, and they're like, bet. And then they gave me this. Yeah, maybe someone wouldn't want this, but I wanted it because I trust Tell, and I think that's the kind of artist that you are. Is like people would give you like, hey, I'm inspired around A and B. Can you make it? And then if you can, you make whatever feels good for you. And I'm like, holy crap, it's so cute. Pixels, I'm gonna have to portray. I think I have to portray Pixels for a little bit. Oh, it's so cute. I'm sorry, I can't get over this. I'm sorry, Pixels, I'm betraying you for a second. Dude, shit. Oh, it looks so cute with the cow hoodie. I'm DMing you just so you can see it with the cow hoodie. Thank you. Hey, give me prompts and I can create. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I feel like honestly, and then like I don't know what you draw in, but like if you drew in something that could do a time lapse, you literally could do like an like a fake voiceover, and then put like the time lapse. Like actually, literally, you wouldn't have to even do a voiceover. You would do the like a text thing, be like prompt equal like 2 emojis, and then you do the time lapse. You post it with a song that you like, and bam, you're TikTok famous. It's the only thing I'll ever succeed in. Look, as artists, you know, you really don't have to be good at a lot of things. You just be good at one thing. The algorithm, I'm telling you. You don't know how many times I have seen artists on TikTok get thousands upon thousands of likes. And also, I'm not saying this like I don't hate this. I love this. This is like one of my favorite parts of TikToks. Is like people would just be sharing their creative processes and literally just the way that they draw, and then bam, hundreds of likes. And I love that fact because I love seeing how people draw. It's very inspiring to me. And so if you were ever motivated to, and don't take this as a you totally should have to get on TikTok. No, it's like if you ever feel motivated to, post a video about it, like, go for it. I'm sure a lot of people would like it. Because, I mean, I love it. I mean, if I'm going to be honest with you... Yes, thank you. Thank you, this is good. Thank you. That's like a... Okay, I'm gonna be real with you, Ghosty. That you just gave me like a... If we're being nice, if we're being like lenient about it, that's like a $30 commission that you just gave me. That's like a $30 commission. I can't spell. I'm sorry, I can't spell. If you're ever in the mood to do it, I think Procreate has a really good auto time lapse. Yeah, I think so too. Yeah. But like, from like what I have paid for stuff, you have honestly given me like a $30 commission. And I want you to take that and just be I don't know, let it go to your head if you can. Cause like, it's amazing. I'm so happy. But it's awesome and I love it and thank you. I honestly, I know like you mentioned wanting to do that and I didn't know what to expect, you know? I just wanted you to have fun with it and it's honestly amazing and I love it and I love you and thank you. 30? Yeah. 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 At least. I was gonna say, if you were like one of those artists that actually have like a really big like fan base and are busy a lot of the times, you could honestly charge 60 if you wanted to. Like, it's not, like, art is not a cheap thing. Yeah, honestly, like, oh, yeah, easily, easily. Oh, yeah, easily then. Easily, like, once you get people to know your art, like, you can easily charge that price. And it's crazy, and I get that, because I don't even price my art adequately. Yeah, no, I'm not kidding. And, like, I will say sometimes it's hard because you have to equate, a lot of times for self-respect, you should equate how much time it took you to do versus what's a livable wage for you. And I understand, like, for a lot of artists, getting cheaper prices to get more people in the door initially is also a strategy. But considering that, like, yeah, like, honestly, like, it's good work. And I want everything that I just said to go to your head. And I hope it has. Like, I want to be lazy. Yeah. Yeah. I'm being lazy because I can. Get in the flower. Get in the flower. What? Get in the flower. Get in the flower. Oh, that didn't work the way I wanted it to. But sometimes you charge less for things because market value or you try to build a following or maybe you have some cheaper comms. How I start doing this, make fan art. You want real? You make fan art for people. Like me. And you make a social media and you tell me what your social media is. And I tell people, look at this commission that I got. You can get yours too. And then you open a VGen. Or you let people DM you on Twitter. But no, it's honestly amazing. Like, yeah, no, like, definitely, like, I think you should. I think yesterday when you're like, I don't know stuff, I'm gonna eat you. Making a commission sheet or a post is a good start so you can post it anywhere. Yeah. Yeah, you could be like, yeah, honestly, like, I don't think Tell has it anymore. Who has it? Who has a reference? Who has a thingy? Yes, this person, okay, this is like, I guess a good example of like the other side of it if you didn't want to charge like 25 plus, right? This person makes these small chibis that are based off of a base. Super easy for them. They're $5, but they'll take like 100 of them and then they'll close for like a month. And that's $500 because they have a really big following and a lot of people want these like chibis. I got one once. But a lot of people like these. Like, a lot of people will like these. And so they'll order them and then they're just cruising. And they can just open them whenever they want. And it's only a couple of bucks. And they make these cute little chibis for people, you know? So it's kind of like, you can kind of give and take and kind of wibble wobble with it, you know? And like, if I get the money and I can do this full time, I'd love to commission you for stuff. I'll commission you for all my stickers that I don't want to make. You'll be my sticker maker. And then other VTubers will be like, "Oh my god, how did you get this sticker? Who made this sticker?" And I'll be like, the amazing Ghosty made this sticker." And then yeah. And I'll eat you. Hog, thank you. Thank you. Yippee. Okay. I should put an outline on this guy, I think. Uh-oh, that. I don't like that one. The one I put on this one. Oh, I don't. I lied. Get Elaine to be your coach and pay her in cute little— Dude! On God! You, Pixel, shut the fuck up. Pixel, shut the fuck up. Don't tell them my secrets. Don't tell them my secrets. Bet. I'll be your test subject. That's how I do it. That's how I do it with my friends. I'm just like, you will tell me what to do sometimes and I make you things. Yeah, you could draw anything you want. And pixels. And you could even draw yourself. You could draw anything you want. You could draw your cats. You could even draw your cats. You could draw all the cats. It could be a cat mosaic. Okay. I've made my sticker. I should put even Boffy if he's extra nice. Even Boffy! Even the Boofinator. I should put like my logo in here somewhere. I'm gonna hide it. Put it right in the smack dab center. Fuck yeah, dude. A lot of people would— Little Guys is the best. It is the best payment, in my opinion. I would ask for nothing more than just Little Guys. It's literally me yesterday with Chiquita Banana. If every time I did something good, Chiquita Banana sent me a Chiquita Banana keychain, I'd be doing a lot for that banana company, is all I'm saying. Export. Save. Close. Make a tuxedo cat heart with Moira and— Oh, that would be so cute! Because they're both tuxedo cats. And then you could do one for Pads and Suki. And then you could do one for Pads and Suki. Cool. And then I will share my sticker. Inspired by a quote I said, motivated by at your deep pixels and at blue. There you go. I've done it. I've made my very first sticker. My head hurts. I think I got too excited. I feel like a small dog that like overhyped itself, and now my brain is like shutting down. Let me put this in my art projects. 2D art. Yeah, exactly. And then you make a base of a cat, and then you do, yeah, exactly. Your pet here, YCHs, and then bam! Money! All you gotta do is recolor it. The brain cells is awakening. My job here is done. My brain. I think I actually overhyped myself. I think I'm dying. What am I doing today? I totally forgot what I'm doing today. How's my computer doing, actually? Oh, it's doing alright. Drink water, yeah. I should make that louder. I am drinking more water. Okay. Idea. Oh, it's already at max, okay. I feel like I'm forgetting stuff. Also, I've like closed so many tabs, it seems like I'm missing stuff. I did that. I didn't do... no, maybe I didn't. Did I not highlight Chiquita Banana from yesterday? I did not. Okay. I will do that right now before I forget. Oh, what the fuck? What are all these clips? Oh, banana be great. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah. Get your hands off my penis. What was I thinking about? Oh, right, the thumbnail. Beep 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 beep. I am for real. Never meant to make your daughter cry. I apologize. The thing do with the thing? I did. Cool. Alright, now time to unplug my tablet. And then we're gonna work on the Milk Club today. So excited. I'm so excited. Alright, I keep forgetting what I'm doing. Never meant to make it that the cry. Oh, I have to send Moon to Core video. For real. Never meant to make it that the cry. Go shy. But open. Hopefully my stuff will be okay. Oh, I have to turn myself back on to... Where is it? There we go. Meow. Hi, Kiwi! I thought you were gonna be gone today. Are you back? Checking in from the family staycation. Oh, okay. Hi, we miss you. We love you. I hope you're having fun at your staycation. My eyeball. Okay, maybe we can fix the century pot. I don't know. I did fix the woodness on the rough boards already. Monstera should be fine for us, the texture. Oh, I think I imported stuff wrong. Excuse me. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. I just realized I didn't. Okay. What are those assets? The pot is other assets, I think. No. I don't want to listen to the song. I want to listen to this song, though. Yee. Okay, here we go. Okay, I just the only thing I want to do is I just want to fix this. Is that allowed, computer? Am I allowed to do that? Is the audio fixed now? Okay, the audio is fixed. Cool. 8-bit cow. It's okay. We're good now. We're good. We're fine now. We're fine now. I just have to do this on my laptop, which is fine. Oh, wrong folder. Get out of here. Leave me alone. I gotta go to the NAS. I hear now. Yippee! Here. Okay. Let me reconnect this. I can hear, but no see. You should be able to see me now. Nope. Give me. There we go. Oh, but I have to reset my model. Motherfuck. Alright. Oh, I gotta click it again. There we go. We're all fixed now. She returns, I do return. And then I gotta fix this number again. Really? No. Really? Okay. That works, I guess. Okay. So now we gotta go into Moonlight. Gotta open up my laptop. Give me laptop. Give it to me. Let me in. Let me in. Why aren't you letting me in? In sunshine. Let me get. Leave for the lark, Kiwi. That is all fine. Advanced. Proceed. I don't fucking remember. What the fuck was my thing for this? It is over. There we go. Make it better, do it faster, makes it stronger. Something. It should work. Why are you being weird? Hour after hour, work is never over. Burner, 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 burner. Better do it. Faster makes us stronger. Okay, I'll do this. Make it better. Do it faster. Makes us stronger. Enter the. Oh, what the fuck? I don't know what that is. What? Okay. Huh? Please enter. Oh. First name. Huh? I don't know if I'm supposed to download those. This is different. Please update as soon as possible. How do I need it? Sunshine. Oh my god. This one. This one. Sunshine should be on. No, I don't feel like it should have this problem. Maybe it's on the wrong internet. Nope, it's on the right one. Boop. Restart. I am for real. The crap. I apologize a million times. Ooh. F4. Cool. Hog. I fixed it. I got lemonade. What kind of lemonade? Normal lemonade or different kind of lemonade? Dr. Cry, I apologize a million times. And what else are we doing? Is anything else that's gonna be big? I don't think so. I think strawberry. Oh my god, that sounds delicious. Feel this way forever. Stars are to texture. Wow, wow. Ever, ever. Okay. I will let you do your thing here. That's all that. So I want to test opening Unreal Engine because that's the other thing that was chugging my computer yesterday. But I think if I turn off my... I think if I turn off all the lights, it'll be fine. I apologize a million times. There we go. Cool. Oh god, it's playing this song again? Okay, you know what? I'm playing my songs. DJ, you're weird, bro. Okay, there you go. So be from here. Come on, right? If I turn that off. I'll let that figure itself out. And no, we need that. Okay. So if it's lit, it lags. If it's unlit, it stays fine. Okay. That's fine. Does that mean I could just... yeah. Yeah, that's fine. Turn these off too. There we go. Still lagging a little bit. Seems okay right now. I'm doing something in the scene, it kind of lags. Why is it lagging so much? No engine lagging in. Am I in Unreal Engine 5? I don't know. I don't think I am. No, I am. Yeah, I'm Unreal. Yeah. Disable studio telemetry plugin. This should be a fix it for me. Disable what? It's a plugin? Plugins? Studio? Okay. Brain worked so hard today. You should get rest. Go play a video game. Go play a video game. Go play a game. Watch a movie. Where is this coming from? From sword. One more time. Wait, what? That's not for this UV. And now look at that. All fixed. Wow, that took so long. Creativity really is. It is. It is. You're literally exercising your brain cells. Father provides. I don't know what's wrong with my head. My brain, like, is dying. Pixels, I'm dying! I'm dying! Wow, okay. Pixels didn't come save me. He's just letting me die. How rude. The red inside. Let's see. betrayed. I know. I don't even know what he's doing, but he betrayed me. I feel so betrayed. Okay, cool. Alright, are you gonna... Oh god, you're lagging again. Are you lagging? Nope, wrong one. No, I loaded the wrong one. No! TV doesn't work for me too. I'm 4 months late. I'm just on UE5. Oh, okay. Feel like I gotta do something with my newfound knowledge of my abilities, though. Tell someone about it. Tell someone about it. Play a game. Celebrate. Eat something nice. Make something new. Make something else. You know, most of the things you can do. I feel like this shouldn't be happening right now. UE5 spiking, I can't spell spiking GPU when in editor. Sudden spiking GPU, 100% usage. Hey there, great for social media. What type of the problem? Are you also using Lumen? I've heard reports of light spikes on Lumen-enabled scenes to draw correlation. Does occur to during patches or only in the editor? I'm using virtual shadow mount using Lumens, yes. I'm also using Nanite, ray tracing on the project. Okay, I have an idea. Oh, I don't want to do the idea. Oh, I'm gonna do the idea anyway. So I want to see if an empty scene will do the same thing. And if it does, I don't know. Milkclub V2. What do you mean the product already exists? Oh. Alright, V3 it is. Great. I'm changing my hair. Alright. Yeah, it's like spiking my GPU. I don't know why. Thank you. I'm not sure why it's doing this though. Okay, so we've restarted it and it's still spiking. Yeah, I do. Do you know why Unreal is spiking my computer?
What's doing it specifically?
Being in the program.
That's the only thing right now it's using your GPU, except for like YouTube and stuff. Okay, switch back to it. This is the newest version.
I don't think it's the newest version. Maybe you think that's a problem?
Depends on how old the version
It's like 5.4, so I don't think it's that old.
If it was like 5.0, I'd be like, oh. You could try that. But it'll take a little while to know. You could, we could try a couple things really fast to see if that helps.
Like what? Like it would.
Like turning off some systems in the preview window, like lighting and effects.
I did. I put it on flat lighting in this version, and it still did it.
Okay, there's a couple more things.
Is this cheese?
I was holding it, and I was like, it looks like a crystal ball or something.
It kind of looks like a piece of cheese. Is it not a piece of cheese?
What do you think it is? Okay. What cheese do you think it is?
I think it's a piece of cheese. Well, what do you think it is? A Parmesan piece.
Yeah, you'll say.
Well, why know we don't have any more Parmesan in the house? Because I remember it's probably wax, isn't it?
It's beeswax.
Oh, I'm sad now. It's not a big weird block of cheese that you pulled out of your anus.
What?
Aww.
It's like a pound of beeswax, isn't it? So we could open it up, and I kind of have a few other things that we could try, like optimization things, just for the preview.
Okay. I don't know if I should just clean the file.
I mean, that does help. That does help.
I hope the right scene is this one. Yeah, see, even on online, it's like lagging. I don't think we need that.
You don't have any
Nope. Might have fixed it. Click back into the editor.
Technically better.
Yeah, it's better. I mean, if it's usually... Oh, okay, went back up. I'm only hearing half the caution. All I heard was a block of cheese that came out of your 8. Pixels came in to help me with Unreal Engine 5. Say hello.
Hello.
And they were holding a piece of wax, but it was like triangular and like cheese looking. And I was like, that looks like a block of cheese. And I kept saying that, and then he's like, what do you think it looks like? I'm like, a block of cheese. and then and then there is wax, and then I'm sad. He's not. The new thing with Unreal Engine 5 is the nanite lighting, right?
Yeah, but I don't think you're using nanite. No, I think I just turned over. Well, we're not using that. So sorry, lumen is the lighting, nanite is the geometry.
Turn on.
Yeah, I did.
Mr. Sunshine. A block of cheese. I know! Do you still have it? I'll take a picture and send it. Here's my phone. I'm gonna send you a picture of it. Sunshine. It looks like a piece of cheese.
Just add LEDs there.
That's so much work for a project.
It's actually not. It would just be really stupid to do for something this small. But it's really easy and
I'm confused of why I was doing it in a scene that didn't have anything in it.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
So should we try that in a scene that doesn't have anything in it, in case something else in this scene is like fucking with it?
I don't think so, because it's like if you weren't having the problem in that scene, then you could see what was in here. But since you were, it's just a base setting.
Oh, so it doesn't matter what project we do it in? Project. There you go. Yummy, yummy. It could be a piece of cheese with the wax cover left on it. No, it's just... I sent it to you, so you know what it looks like. But it's just this... Like, it also kind of looks like a salt lick, but like... Doesn't it look like cheese? He just came in holding it, and I'm like... It looks like... That's what I'm saying! It actually looks like Parmesan! That's why I was like, what the fuck? Were you just like, I know the Pixels was working on leather stuff, but I was like, were you working on leather stuff and just chomping on some cheese? Because that sounds like a man thing. Getting like a hunk of cheese and just chomping on it while you do man stuff. Makes sense to me, but I wonder if it was because of the glass thing that I turned on. No, because I have no.
You could turn on translucency. That's all.
But I have things with transparency.
Translucency and transparency are technically different.
Oh, what's the difference?
I
Both are trans. I would do that if I'm the man one. You are the man.
Think subsurface scattering versus glass.
Oh, but I have things that subsurface scattering.
Yeah, but we're also in flat lighting, so it's...
Well, actually, just put it back on normal lighting because it's gonna happen if it's lit or unlit. Can we fix that? What did that happen? Did we turn? Oh no! I know why. Never mind, I don't know why it's happening.
This is kind of cool how you do all.
I know it does that sometimes. If you zoom out and zoom in really fast, it does that.
Yeah.
This is nice.
Yeah, so it's see that.
What? It didn't do anything. Yeah, but it didn't. Oh, it's like it's so slight.
Yeah. Because you don't have anything crazy on the.
Should I just go back to Unreal Engine 4?
That seems a bit silly.
I'm at a point where I'm just willing to re-import everything. That's kind of like whatever. Maybe I turned off the wrong plugin.
What plugin?
I looked it and they were like, not this one. Yeah, they were like, disable the studio telemetry plugin, and I think I did that. Yeah, studio telemetry. Yeah. I'm just so confused why, like if we're literally in any other menu, it's fine.
Yeah.
But if we're in the viewport, it decides I'm gonna shit myself. What if it's because I have too many cameras? Could I have too many cameras?
That's possible. I won't turn question.
I'll just delete them because I have to redo them later anyway. Throw up in the kitchen sink. I don't wanna feel anything. It's still being a bitch.
Because it wasn't like this before.
No, that's why cause I've specifically the only thing that I haven't done in Unreal on stream is render something, which makes sense in my opinion. Is it because I haven't built the lighting in a while or ever?
That is what I was about to do next. There it is. Your lighting preview. No, God.
It said, actually, I'm still going to die. I'm still going to seppuku. What if it's because I have too many levels?
Too many levels? No, this should it be affecting unless you're referencing them into this thing, which I don't think you are. Because you would have to program that.
I am not a programmer. I mean, I don't mind if I have to reinstall a new version to see if it fixes it.
You could, I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, we could like pull up the visualizer and stuff, but like I don't think you actually want to do that right now because it'll be anyways. Let's see. So those things were things out. We could, throw up the profile.
Would this taste like anything if you licked it?
It would taste like unflavored, unscented chapstick.
Ew, that sounds like when you put olive oil in my mouth.
There's
Dude, I smell olive oil yesterday, and I instantly got the PTSD of the texture of it in my mouth, and I got really sad. Like, really sad. While I was cleaning.
Taste this really expensive olive oil, you fucking PTSD flashback.
Oh, what the fuck? Does installing this fuck up my CPU? What the fuck? MSM. Is something empregging my computer?
So installations use CPU.
Okay, well, it's like almost like halfway though.
It's definitely not, but
what? I mean, like. Can I have my stool?
Points at 15%. It's like halfway.
I'm just a little guy. Pixel is being mean to me. It's okay, we can look up tree fabs. Because maybe someone will have an anime tree that I can steal. I'm not making a tree. And if someone comes in here and is like, hey, when you 3D modeled the whole scene but you didn't make the tree, they can suck my fat fucking cock. Ugh. Okay. But to be fair, I feel like the anime trees, because they're so popular, might be paid for. Price free. Stylized tree from Nest. Ooh! Oh! Actually, this could work. This could work. I kind of don't like the thing about that, but I want your things in my room. I miss you all the time. This one. Oh, yes. Yes. I think I want this one. Duplicate. Let's see, is there any other ones I want? I want to look at more anime tweet. That's cool. No, really? 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 Getting high. I don't like how thin it is though. What is it called? Anime tree? I think I go to the bathroom. It's so good, gonna die. Don't look for a while. I need to turn my brain off. No problem. I hope you have a wonderful little lurky. Thank you for stopping by and thank you for motivating me and for the wonderful art. Okay, I actually need to go to the bathroom really quick. And then I'm going to, I think I'm going to get this anime tree pack. Well, actually, we'll just do it now. Add it to my library. Oh, I have to log in, fuck. I think it's this one. No, like, I'm gonna hit my head against the wall. Damn. Yes. I love you is my drug. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Then add it to me. Devices, I'm addicted. It's a crisis. Okay, I'm gonna be right back. And we're back. And we're back. And we're back. Alright. More options. Yeah, I guess convert and place. We'll see if it fixes it. Thank you for the song request, Vex. Place. Ooh. I know it's gonna be a little spicy in the beginning. Okay. You're still pretty spicy though. Whoa. Whoa. What? Whoa. Relaxing before we go play games. What kind of games? That's fun. What kind of games? I'm trying to debug my stuff and it's not debugging. Plugins. You can try the telemetry thing. Plug in that comment. There's 2 of them? These don't look right. Okay. Selected. Wow. It's UE5 when clicking into viewport GPU spikes. Because the same thing, turn them off. Turn down the viewers really good. Virtual shadow maps? How to turn off in UE5. One of the issues. You can use the engine scalability settings. Shadow mapping method. Ah, so edit project settings. Virtual shadow maps to shadow maps. You're noticing programs on the brand new phase because Luminous is able to see disable the Luminous project settings. Project settings. Luminous. Lumen? Wait, what am I? Shadow map method. To shadow maps. Since I was confused with my reports were cut in half on a blank UI. Even after disabling lumens, UI is still rewarded. Luckily, there is an easier fix for this. Go to product settings, shadow map, and change shadow map to shadow map. And I figured it all out. All credit goes to edit. Another tip for boosting FPS is to disable temporal super resolution in the settings. What? Oh. Okay. Hi, Momo. Yeah, dude. Then I got to turn the HDMI computer to disabling the console. Ow, 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 ow. The source says, and then I help the performance. Do you have enough RAM for your computer? 2 gigabytes. Did you disable yours? I guess I could do that again. That fix it? No. Hmm. Uh. Uh. Hmm. Oh, right. Let's save. Oh, I know. Boop, 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 boop. Yeah, that's what I figured. Where's the delete button? I gotta do it this way. Ooh, multi-planes. I like that. Well, I mean, I think my computer's handling it right now. Ish. I'm gonna turn this off for now. I don't like it's at 95, but maybe it'll be okay. The phone, I feel ya. Content. Let's just. Oh, you say you're not alone. Wish I could feel. Oh, this one. Oh. Cameras, clouds, details, fog, source and grid, media planes. Okay, well, I guess we'll just, I guess we'll trust it. I don't want to, but we will. Set color. I'm gonna set it to my favorite color. New folder. This will be mesh materials. Oops. Up here. Folder textures. I think that's everything. Textures go here, move here. Put this guy here. Oops. Whoops. Whoops. And then yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Alright. And then she's going to here. Materials. Okay. Okay, now I totally forgot what I was doing because of all that. Essentially pop fix. Mason jar. Oh, I have to texture stuff. That's right, that's right, okay. We fixed the Senshi pot. So can I just cross this out? I'm gonna cross it out. That's fine. Mason jar, Monstera hand paint, that's fine. Yeah, okay. So now we'll just start importing stuff, which is fun. We'll do framework first. I just want to see how this looks. Oh goodness, this file is much bigger. Materials, import materials as instances, local, identify duplicate materials, import materials, import. That all looks good. Okay. Save. And just want to make sure. How do you turn off lumens? I'm wondering if that's the problem. Lumen. Screen space. I didn't do anything. Okay. Okay. Oh? Oh? Hello? Oh, wait, yeah, I think I know what's happening. Move here. Now scroll all the way to the bottom. Move here. There we go. Now I should be able to drag and drop. Yeah, there you go. And then create a new folder. This is framework. I think I see how this program's trying to do this. I don't super like the way that it thinks it's gonna do this, but boogie with a suitcase. Going at the disco. Forget about the rat race. Top music, top. This is Average music. Everybody talk about pop music. Is that how it looks? Yeah, that's how it looks. Pop music. Talk about pop music. Cool. Okay. Since it's oh god. Okay, maybe light. Skylight, rectangular light, spotlight, bright light. White light, I guess? Okay. Whoa. Weird. Let me just do this. I don't know. Music. Pop music. Oop. This is the normal. And then this goes here. Ambient occlusion. This is a metallic. Right. Metallic. Oops. There you go. To me, so I need to take it to the max. Okie dokie, and then take this guy, add him to a multiply. Turn to emissive. Or what? Okay. Maybe I'll do some more research. Let's see. Did I fix it? I did not fix it. Don't look at me, so we take it to the max. Space and viewport. But that. Make resolution image. Turn off. Let's see. Just wanted to put this out here. Half, even if the another tip for tipping. Maybe. Where is... Okay, well, maybe I turned it off, so now it's gone. But that's all. Save all. Go. And then... this one? I wonder if it would happen in this project. So maybe I should open them both? Okay. And then what about this guy? Sweet and see and strange. If this doesn't work, then I'll probably just texture stuff. And then we'll go play Minecraft. You still say your love. I should settle down. I don't wanna. Peace. Okay. I have solved my brain. Okay, so that's so unfortunate. Okay. That is potato. Let's go see if we can fix the monster panel really quick. Yeah. I can love. Did I export? I don't think I did. Okay, file open recent. Names. Back oh. Oh. You've done anything you asked. Ooh. But sadly. Yeah, okay. Guess you fumbled the bag. You dare to react. And my mask. Ever tablet again? I wanted you so badly. Why is this not working? Well, I guess you fumbled the bag. Paint. Maybe that was one. Yeah. You should use a square brush. Actually, no, it's going to skin brush. Hold coming back. Yeah. Is there a way we can make the brush follow the angle of the pen? Let's do UV. Let's do. There you go. Actually, I'm gonna go back to this brush and put format. Let's do stroke opacity this much. Let's do flow 100. I'm scared. Honey, just push. We should just kiss. Outside. Ooh, that should be a lot harsher, less harsh. Oh my god. Blair. Tangerine. Okay. Oops. Lesson in I don't like the direction of this. Does not sit right in my brain. I'm gonna look up something. Ooh, no, I have another reference here. Okay, I actually do it inverted. I think that's why I'm having a problem. Also, I think it's because, like, I have so much going on. Let's make this light here. Can it, like, close? I should make it a little bit brighter. There we go. Oh, oh God, what happened? Oh. Oh, Colorado looks so pretty today. Oh my God. Keyword your big joke. Oh wow. Do anything of my life, what happened to your love? To your love. What happened to your love? We can do anything. Can do anything. Oh my God, it's gonna take so long, Chan. I don't wanna, but it'll look so good when I'm done. I know. I know it'll look so good when I'm done. Confidence, baby. That's how they do it, right? Yeah, kind of. Can we like fade this a bit more? like the shape of it. What's it just sent me a picture of her food? I'm jealous. Oh no, it's not about conflict. Let's just do base color. That would help a lot. Hmm? Hmm? Oh. Hmm? Oh, no, I know what's going on. You are my problem. She's making me nervous. She's making me nervous. Tiny little broche. Baby. Shouldn't I should have said that. Happy. She knows. She knows. Get me nervous. She's making me nervous. She knows something. She knows. You could do. Oh my god, it's gonna take forever. I'm doing a sign that you won't even see. I'm so happy. It's good enough. I don't have to get baby. Give you the world. You got this, I believe. Thank you. I'm trying my best. Nope, I won't go back to this brush. Baby, okay, there we go. 20. So mystical, magical. No. Let's speedrun it. Nah. But no, there's less area that needs the color than the area that doesn't need the color. So okay. Nothing else I feel. It's mystical. If I get the tag string done, then I can reward myself with an edible. Dun, 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 dun. Nothing said. Should do a bigger brush. And then use the brush. You can see you. Can't control you. Noise. Oh fuck. Wrong way. Let's do this one, but not this one, because yeah. Actually, what about neither? But figure this shit out. Just for confidence. Boop, boop. I can control. I don't know if that's better or not, but I think it is. We should go back to this though. Maybe do it like this, but then be like super light with it. Honestly, I think on these smaller leaves, I would just do. I'm gonna do the inverse one. 50%. Oops. Just tell me why. Maybe I do want to do this. Make the brush bigger. not that big. Hibbly. Baby, when you do, is this another bottom? Oh no, this is a top. Oh, thank God. I was gonna be like, I don't have to do both, but like. The top shot. It's more. Oh. No! Substance! Substance, no! What the fuck do you mean? What do you mean? Don't crash. Don't do it. Whatever you do, don't give in. Don't do it. I'm gonna put on a stim video in the background. Snails? Put this little stim video in the corner of my screen. Oh, substance! Why does the 3D gods hate me? Bro. You gotta be shitting me, bro. You gotta be shitting me. Well, I guess while I wait for that to either crash or not crash, I'll do something in the background. Fish. Fucking love aquariums, me too. Me too. My heart is so sad. This go right there. Nope, go. Yeah. You're still broken. Okay. It's mother horse eyes? Oh, it has mother goat eyes. Dance in the light. Want to rock your body. Alright. Rock your body. I'll rock that body. I'm lazy. Can I have a list of a font that all these separately? I don't know how to spell separately. They are all sleep stories. Oh, bro, why the story's for real cosmic horror? Okay. Cool, thank you. I have this one. Oh, come on, rock that body, rock that body, rock that body. I'll put you over there. Get font. Download all. Save. Open. Can I just do this? No. I wonder if I could look that up. Oh, not this one. Not that one. How to download multiple fonts at once. Windows 11. Select them all, right click, and click on install. What? Oh. If I do extract. Fonts. Install. Cool. That's actually very helpful. I'm putting you over here, and then we're gonna do something. Chat iPad. Oh, I have to do it like this. I'm gonna put it on Chat's iPad. Oh, it's hard to see you when I get you right here. Oh, it's hard to leave you when I get you everywhere. There you go. It's not big enough. There you go. I miss you the most. We know. Make it harder than most. Mono? Have you even played Mono? Yeah. Or Okra A. Oh, I didn't even look at the other one. Ah, Okra A. Never be a bad. As long as you just come here. Download, close, delete, download, extract. Oh, this one only had one. Yeah. Here, buried conversation or chalkboard SE, but distorted or degraded. Why? The service of a corporate chair of fast food brand masking something the service calls for. Ah, okay. Let's do burger entries. Actually, these should all be like centered. This one should be. So we want like a corporate font. Do I have that? Oops. Actually, we could do. This one, and then Lobster or Pacifico as an contains. Okay. This cookhouse. They said lobster. I don't think I have lobster. Or Pacifico. Hey, yo, Elaine, I love your face. How are you doing today? Hello, Simply. I'm doing good. I'm just doing some art. How are you doing? I'm gonna do this one. How are you? I hope you're having a wonderful grill and fried egg day. Goat. Yeah, it's a great song. I love this song. It's a good song. Sometimes I listen to it too much, but that's okay. The Diana House. The Diana House. Crimson Text or Georgia? What's Crimson Text? You know the Crimson Text? Crimson Text, the story is rooted in general letter journal entries or Georgia. Okay. Let's do Crimson Text. Get font. Ooh. And then it breeds, Nifrik. What the fuck is this? Or black letter style fonts. Black letter style? What's that's that? Oh. The grotesque mythic horror and elders right belief in the nature. I guess. I don't really think it matches the vibe, but I guess we could do it anyway. Mother Nature got distracted with her show and left the oven on high, and we all got a little overcooked. But other than that, it's peachy as can be. I'm sorry you got a little overcooked, but I'm glad that you're having a good time. Otherwise, I'm glad you're having a good time. Otherwise, I have the other one. Neutralistic. Oh, you have stuff. How are things for you? Good, pretty good. I am just trying to find fonts to put for things. Left, right game. Yeah, I guess this one's fine. Nope. I'm just currently getting fonts so I can make textures because my substance painter decides to die. I don't know why. I was in the middle of hand painting textures. American typewriter, Korean new. Ooh. Here it is, please. I would love to see what this looks like. My computer okay? Hello, computer? Yeah, okay. Make sure Python installed and Sit, please. I'm very interested in if this will actually give me a downloadable zip file of all. Interesting. I should have kept that open. I don't remember what belongs to what. Shoot. Wait. Oh, wait. Oyster black. What? Hi, Marlows. Ooh. Can you get Goofballs? Okay. Okay. I prefer to use. Okay, wait. I should just get these all pasted in here. And then we can get all the Creepcast stories in here. No, I will know. Should I just go? Oops. The Ragnarok map is so pretty. Is that for Ark? Are you playing Ark? Be understandable if it is, though. You know, love to get how my lows. Lose control. I don't think I really need this one. Now you know. There was one. You pick pen pal left right game. Oh, what is it? I have it on my phone. Close. It's a book. Second Death. It's by. Let's do recast under Frost David. Oh, fuck. Ooh, okay. I'll fit it. Yes, I was really playing on the island, but I gave up on it. That's valid. I remember you saying that yesterday. But I'm glad that I guess the prettiness of this one would probably feel better, right, than the prettiness is worth the possible suffering. At least in this one. Another 4 size, huh? Ooh, you know what would be a good one? Font. Use Admic font. I'm seeing black letter. Black letter might be the font that we go with. Do I have that one? Did I download that one? I think I might have downloaded that one. Better than getting jumped every 10 minutes. That's very valid. I like this one. I have this one? Nope. Ooh. I want this one. Let's see. You scream again. Scorcher sounds fun though. What was the font called? Piston Black? Piston. Ooh, fuck. Nice. No, I like this. I like this song. I like just the way it sounds a lot. At least I like it. I have to reopen Substance Painter. I'm afraid. You son of a bitch. You son of a bitch, you didn't keep the average. Tickles the brain so gently. Where is this? A B C D E F. Huh? Wash away the rain. Fuck. Okay, that's fine. I will do it again in a minute. I'll do this first. Okay. Okay. Close. Free. Oh. That's weird. Wait, why? Why this one? Try VD3 is commonly recognized as a class of term styles with the font. Interesting. Okay. Okay. Slime font. Yeah. Yes, this one down. Install. Yeah, that's fine. A B C D E F. La 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 la. Burger entries. I think it is. And then it was cooked out. Ooh. Not that one, this one. Install. Celia's Cookhouse to the ST. Celia's Cookhouse. Nice. For the Diania house. Cormorant. I'm down for Cormorant. Alright. The Diania house. Papa. This one. This one. And then, what about... Okay, we'll do that one last. Feed the pig. Feed the pig. Old English text. Honestly, if it was just a bold, I would think I would. Okay, yeah. Just a bold one. We'll do pen pal. Architectures. Oh, this one wants a handwritten one. It looks kind of bad though, but I like it. What about left-right game? Orbitron and square sci-fi. I think we have that one. Fonts. LMN. Orbit. Orbitron. LMN. I don't really like this one. I feel like it's not. Sci-fi is radio tech urban horror. Radio. I like this one. This one gives me left-right game vibes, I think. Nope, not you. It also gives me Pokemon glyph vibes in a way. Shoot him down, Vexed! Shoot him down! Shoot them down. Let's try. Actually, radio imagery is good. Ooh, fuck yeah. Ooh, like that? Yes. Yes. And then Baraska. What will they do for Baraska? Merryweather? Ooh. Oh. Tungsten? What? No. No. Baraska. I kind of like this one. install. It was called Rhode Island. QSR Rhode Island, Roscoe. And then this one. Yep. What is this? Ooh, yeah. Cool. Want GW wide install. What's it called? Highway ABC. There we go. Cool. 54. We go into fonts. Okay. Your size. Okay. Okay. VHS titles was what I'll just do for now. I realize I could have just done this in Substance Painter. Oh well. Now for me to cry into oblivion as I realize all my hard work that I did in here earlier is gone. But I think I know a lazy way to do it, but I don't think I should do it the lazy way. Nice. Do you have autosaves on? Because I have a feeling you don't. Because I feel like what happened wouldn't have happened if you had autosaves on. That's all I'm saying. Whoa, where is it? Okay, well, that's fine. Actually, add white mask. Paint. This one. Another paint. Change my spacing. Full finished opacity 25. Size. Follow path 1. UV. Brush preset. BLT brush. Add favorites. Okay. Huh? Wait, I have an idea. This one, and then this one, and this one. What? Update from coworking. Do. Oh god, okay. Flow 100. This is this. This is UV. 1 spacing none. Why is some suspected not responding again? I just want to make a brush that I like. Some suspected! Gonna be that. Okay. Let me out like product, telling my details. Ah. Alright. Cause I am pissed off because of my programs. I'm taking it out of work. And then we're gonna do art. More art. Actual art. Cause it's not gonna crash anymore, right, Substance Painter? Advice from me. I'm but I hear say. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. Oh shit, are we back now? Hi, Quets! Sorry, my computer was dying. Yippee, we're back. I was playing a phone game. I was playing a phone game while I was waiting for my computer to fix. It's tough to just walk away. Okay, I have to redeem this guy.
I need it!
There you go. Alright. You good now, bro? I think so. I was stranded all by myself. I yelled for Pixels for maybe his input, but I think he was taking a shit. Okay. It's fine. Everything's okay. Let's see. What's this? Alright. Close you. NZXT. I think we're okay now. The feel I ignore. Alright, chat, you can have your aquarium stim video again. And I can cry. I cry into oblivion. Okay, so I know the problem with the file this time. You were on the toilet and I called for you because my computer was stuck at 100 and you never came. It's fine. I don't need a print anyway. I don't need a print anyway. I just be gay. Yes. Yes, we are good. Sorry, I was sulking for a second. I think we're back, at least. I was just sulking, because it's stupid. I have a good computer, I promise. UV. Create brush preset. I had to refresh too. No. Oof. Okay. Well, at least it's okay now, I guess. I don't know how to turn it on. It's usually normally already on.
Yeah, it's normally on by default. Yeah, I see the timer for it.
Yeah. Boop. Boop. No, because we ate breakfast late. I guess. The Catan shard is mad at me. I don't know why the Catan shard is mad at me. I didn't do anything to the Catan shard.
Has a mind of its own.
Is that mind fucking racist and homophobic at the same time? What do you mean the Catan shard is racist and homophobic?
Everything's racist.
No, Slanesh is not. And Nurgle is not. Everything is the same to rot and indulgence. That's why I follow them.
That's
Yeah, I just wanted to edit the save of it, and Substance Painter died. And apparently Adobe's like, you know what would be smart? If we made it that when your program dies, it takes 100% of your GPU so it can die. Ah! I already took an edible because I'm so upset.
Oh no.
I just want to do art and be happy. You shouldn't give me sunflower seeds. I'm just gonna eat the whole thing if I don't think about it. It's like a snack that I'll probably just eat. I think there's a big chat delay. Fuck it, we're restarting stream.
No.
What do you mean?
Let me at least go check.